Hey everybody, welcome in the special edition of Court of Basketball Coaches. Because I received a lot of questions from you how you were following the Court of Basketball Coaches episodes when I had guests with international coaches. Then I get this idea to make a questions and answers Facebook live talk. So in the Q&A live talk, you can leave in the comment what you would love to ask, or again, you can send your questions on my Facebook account, LinkedIn account, Instagram account, or on my website. So feel free yourself. I think it is not just interesting for sharing knowledge, it is interesting to share philosophy, vision, and that is good always for basketball, and that is not a problem if one coach have one vision and the other coach has another vision. I will answer. I was choosing 5 people, 5 questions, and maybe this I will make again periodically, and I think it should need to be interesting if this would be interactive, that the coaches are asking, the followers are asking, or you are reacting about what I'm talking, how I'm answering for the questions. But before to say for you, I am little sad about it that in some countries basketball not started or stopped. And that is why next week in the same time I will have a guest, another international coach, and we will speak about basketball preparation in the COVID time. I think it is very interesting for those coaches who at the time basketball is not running, and you must do something. The worst thing can happen that you are doing nothing. So today with technology environments you can do a lot of things, and you need to prepare your players. Maybe your season will now start or just little stopped, or you are preparing your players for the next season. So now I will reading the questions and I'm starting to answer, and of course I would love to react if you have some kind of comment for it. The first question would be from Francisco. He's asking how you are developing centers at youth and senior category. Can you talk about it step by step in more details? So basketball is for me is a game for big players. Basketball we can't play without an inside game. If we have a good inside game, then we have a lot of positive things in the offense. If we have inside game, not just the centers can finish, so we have back passes, you have pass, kick, so you have a lot of options, especially let's say if the attackers, if the opponent team is playing, for example, zone defense, because that is half basket if the center can receive the ball in the lane and the defenders are going on him and he is just giving a back pass outside and we have the shot. When we are working with tall players, we need to know that they have different body, motor abilities, footwork, handwork. They grow up later. So now I'm little speaking about in the youth category. So and my experience is that the tall players are always little shy. That is why I'm very happy that I had a mentor 9 years where I worked in my first club in Serbia, and he said for me, maybe it was in the 2nd or 3rd season when I started to work, and he was my mentor, that Hunor, the center need to be your best friend and you need to hold his or her hands. And this is true. So the communication must be different with a guard or with a center. With a center, you need to be little more soft, like with the guard. With the guard, you can speak on a different way, but the center need to be your friend. And you know, in every country where I worked, I realized that in every country you not have so many good centers. So you need to keep in the club. In the guards we have always some more options, and if we are talking about tall players, let's say if we are speaking about the positions, position 1 and position 5 is always soft and sensitive position. Why? Because 2, 3 and 4 we can change and somehow to solve it, but if we not have a good 1 or good 5, there is no improvisation. So about this we should need to take care about it. We should need to know what are our goals to develop our tall players, our centers, and what is the methodic steps. If we know this, then we can choose the drill. Never to choose drills from YouTube just. Today is very easy to find a lot of drills, a lot of individual practices for position 5, but you need to understand and you need to have experience. So let's say, for example, if you are teaching one kind of finish for one center, that you should need to do maybe a few months, 2 months, 3 months. And when you are satisfied that this center developed good and realizing good on that way, just then to put the next step and the next finish. This is very important. For example, from my experience in every club where I worked, we started with under 14, but in under 12, if we had some very talented players, and of course they have trainings with the under 14, the better players, we started already. And this is, for example, again, interesting in what kind of club you are. Maybe you are in a big pro club who are just buying players, and players with 17, 18, 19 will very hard there to play. Maybe the youth category development is not so good in that club. But if you have a club that maybe on pro level, semi-pro level or amateur level, and they want to put players who are 16, 17, 18, 19 in the senior team, then you need to do this more before, because you want to give a player when they are 16, 17 for the senior coach, that the senior coach can use him, because the senior coach will not have time that on every training just to work some kind of individual thing. And there is very important thing that if you want to get a good post player, a good center, that you can't get on the team training. So you must work individually with that player on your team trainings and on individual trainings too. Let's say I can speak about, for example, my period in my first club where I worked 9 years. We had a player, we worked with her, so that was women basketball, we worked with her I think 5 or 6 years. And now she was under 18 national player in Serbia, under 20 national player, 3 times won the Serbian top division, and I hope that she will get a call later in the senior national team of Serbia too. For example, with that player from the age 12-13, almost on every team training, at least 15 or 20 trainings we worked individually. And of course, when you know the principles, you know exactly what you want to do with that player. So you are going with individually, and after you are teaching how is playing with the guard, after how is playing together with the other center, after maybe that player is not receiving the ball, but what that player can do. I can make a screen without the ball. I want to receive the ball, and we need to teach our guards that they must to respect the centers. What I mean to respect the centers? The centers need to fight for the better position. This is very important thing. I not like today, for example, if I'm watching NBA, that a lot of centers today are not going so much in position contact. They like to finish like on a fadeaway style. But it should need to be more to have a good position, and we like guards, we need to give time for these centers to be in a good position. So this is very important thing. If we are starting to speak little about how we are building our centers, you can't show many things, how I said you before. First of all, you should need to show how that center need to play with the back. If the back is going, then after that you are turning face to face and how you are finishing. And the third should need to be to push inside the player. If you are showing to push inside the player, maybe the first, you will get players that they want to do just this, because this is the most easiest thing, especially if we are speaking about some tall players who are very strong. On the YouTube, you can find, or on the net, you can find a lot of individual practices for centers. I was a point guard, and when I started to be a coach, I was needed to learn a lot what the centers are doing, how they are finishing, And that even who was a center should need to learn, because there are a lot of things. And I just want to say for you, there are some universal things what everybody using, but I would recommend you for one video. It was in Serbia maybe before 10 years ago or 12 years ago. On one seminar in Serbia was the famous center Dejan Milojevic, who was only 2 meters 2 centimeters, and he was one of the best centers in Europe in that time, in Partizan, in Panathinaikos. And for example, I think that he finished the playing career and just started to be the coach, and then he showed some kind of finishing what was not usual, what was not universal. And you can think about it, what kind of player you have, because not every center has the same speed, not every center has sense for some fakes and that kind of stuff. So that is very important to see that kind of seminars too, that kind of videos, and you can get an idea that that if you see something new, maybe that is good, or maybe you see something new and you are saying this is bad, but think about it, maybe you will using it later. If we are talking about centers, very important, for example, high-low post game. After, so I talked with you about positioning. The next one should need to be shoulder game. After coming the palm dribble, and I would say for you that always when you are working with senior or with youth centers, always ask maximum 2 dribble. So every time when you are receiving the ball, some guard will trying to help for you. You are a little taller, of course, that maybe you will make a worse dribble and they are stealing it. So always try to get to receive the ball much closer to the hoop. And now we are coming on which place to receive. If we are speaking about youth category, I am recommending you to say for your players to receive the ball on the first rebounding place. But if you are playing, you are working with the senior players, with much older, and let's say with young category who are 16, 17, 18 or 15, ask from them to receive the ball on the second rebounding place. Why? Because when you will make some fake on the middle and then you are turning to the baseline and then you are finishing, then you have bigger space. So these are very important things, only small things, but about this you should need to take care about it. And after the philosophy, where to receive the ball. So center should need to always to receive the ball that he saw the whole court. A lot of times I had some centers that they receive the ball, they are trying to make some fakes, they are playing with their leg, making one dribble, and they are not looking for the guards. So very interesting, the perimeter, when I receive the ball, when one guard is helping on me, then I'm making a pass outside. And after the pass outside, what I'm doing? Maybe I'm making a screen, on, we are playing pick and roll with the player with the ball, or I gave the pass outside and I'm making another screen on the other side. Then should need to teach how is going defense on helping side, on the ball side. So there are a lot of things. And now I will say for you one very important thing. Of course, when you get a new team, try to work with your centers and try to teach them if you think that you have an older player who is 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 or much older. If you think that there should need to be another better finish, try to teach it. But there will be a problem. If one player is not so young, maybe that player will not accept so easy the new thing, and maybe he will not using it, because you need to have patience that player has enough brave to make on the training 5-on-5 or on some kind of mini drill 2-on-2 or 1-on-1, and then to be brave to make it on a match. So this is very important thing. Sometimes happen that I started to work in a club, I get some centers, I started to work with them, and after a few months or few weeks I stopped because I realized that this player not want to go out from the comfort zone. Of course, try to kick out from the comfort zone, try to teach it, but you need to be very clever. So here is coming, for example, a problem with the volume of the trainings. So in some countries you have 2 trainings, 3 trainings in a week, and in some countries we have 2 trainings in a day. If you have less trainings, you need to work on a team training and find time to work with this player individually. Maybe you not have a team training many times, but individually, maybe the player wants to work with you. Maybe there is an inside court, there is an outdoor court. I will say for you, there was, for example, one club, and in that club happened that they had the senior team 3 trainings, and on the whole country, in the top division, they have only 2-3 trainings in a week. And I had a player, he was only 22, and he asked me that, coach, I would love to work with you because you was talking how many times you need to do it good, some kind of basketball fundamental to have automatization in your body. And that happened that we started to work in outdoor court, and that young player had 8-9 trainings with me weekly. Of course, that few weeks that he improved. And he said for me, coach, I was accepted this because I am playing on the violin and I know how many hours I should need to practice to learn it. And then after to play some kind of concert. So that I wanted to say for you with this story that that should need to have very big thing if you can have influence your players to have more trainings. So this is very important. If we are speaking about how many trainings should need to have one player to be successful in senior basketball, about this I can speak with you 2 or 3 hours, but I would just love to say for you. I have sometimes players who are saying for me, who coach, I'm coming every day to have a team training with you and is enough. And I'm saying, maybe you think this is enough, but you should need to work on yourself 5-6 hours in a day. And this is really true. So only with talent we can't stay long in basketball or to live in basketball or to play in a very top league. So there are a lot of sacrifice and lot of work, and this is very important. How I see, here was a question from Ahmed. For the players who did not train during the coronavirus for a long period of time, how would the work program be with them? So, Mehmet, about this I was talking with you that next week at the same time I will have a live talk with an international coach and we will speak about this, everything what can be in the COVID time, and about your question too, that somebody stopped basketball and after that is coming, because I think that would be a great help for some coaches. In the summertime when there was no basketball, I had some online trainings, for example, and I would love then my guests to help for you, because I think this is a great thing if we are sharing our ideas, and how I said, with the new technology environment we can fix almost everything. And there is one important thing, how I talked with you about this, that you should need to work 5-6 hours in a day. So if somebody have only 2-3 trainings, team trainings in a week, or 3, 4, 5, today players can learn a lot from the internet, even if the coach not have time, or to go to a gym and do a lot of stuff. It was not like this before 20 or 30 years ago. So there is always option. There is no excuse. It is only, do you want to be successful or you not want to be successful? Because for me basketball is very important in my life, and I learned here that just with hard work you can get something. And usually in the life and in basketball too, always the harder way is the better than the easier way. So about this, I remember that I worked in some countries that there were let's say who played 4 and 5. For me were more 3 in the position, because if you are leading teams in some countries, maybe that is not the top division, maybe it is not on a so big level, maybe there are not so many top players, especially local players. And I met with some coaches and they said for me, why would I have inside game if my center is, I don't know, 1 meter and 90 centimeter? Doesn't matter how tall is your player. You need to teach and need to push your guards to feed with the ball. This is very important thing. And of course, if you are practicing offense with your tall players on the training, on that way you can practice the defense because this is going parallelly. So it's very important how you are covering low post, how you are covering high post. So this is a very important thing. And with the centers, you need to have patience because who is working in the youth category knows that guards are maybe almost at 11, 12, they are playing, they are changing their hands, making some great things, running, and maybe the centers even can't catch the ball. And the guards not know to feed them, where to feed them. So for these players, you need to wait. Centers should need to play maybe from 16, 17, 18. For example, I worked in one club, and there I worked with the senior team and with some youth teams because I was a technical director. And I was training one under 14 team. There was one player looking great, so like an athletic 5, great, but scoring 2 points. And then I started to teach like a center how you are finishing, then the guard is how feeding the ball, this player. It happened that after 2 months, 3 months, this player scored 25 and 30 points. And when I left from that club to another country, then this player was even part of the under 16 national team. And this was only one season. So very important, but this you need to learn. Even if you was a center, you need to sit, you need to draw, you need to watch a lot of videos, and you need to try. And not need to be afraid to try new things with your player. This is very important. Like a coach, on this way you can improve. So this is very important. Benoit asking, do you know when players can play with fans? They will be better after this season without fans. I don't know, but I'm waiting this Benoit that I can watch not just on the net a real match with fans. You know how much I'm waiting to go in Belgrade and watch a good match from Red Star and Partizan, because this without fans it is not the same. How I'm following you, I see that you are watching these matches, and I think you can say what kind of experience that when 10,000 or 20,000 people are inside, or in the Pioneer or in the Belgrade arena. So this should need to have this answer. Now I'm starting the second question. Second question is from Lars. He is asking, at what age should need to start individual tactic? We are speaking about individual tactic. We need to know what is this. So when we are starting to teach individual technique, at the same time you need to say why you are doing, and this is individual tactic. Of course that if somebody is studying to be a coach, he will learn that first we are working on technique and after on tactic. Of course this is going like this, but I not mean that you are pushing a lot of tactic. But let's say if you are saying, for example, one crossover or dribble between your legs or rolling or I don't know what, you need to explain when you are using this, or when you are catching one situation and you are saying you need to make a pass with outside hand. You need to say why you are using it and when you are using it. So immediately. So what is individual tactic? So individual tactic is the proper way to use the individual technique. This is very important. Let's say in youth category you are teaching to play one-on-one. It is very important to say for the player how you are playing when the defender is weaker or stronger or slower or faster or taller or smaller. So shorter. So this you need to teach. You need to teach a lot of things, because what is youth basketball? We are developing them to easier to go in the senior team, and for the senior basketball demands to be flexible and that the senior coach can use it. But you, like a youth coach, this you need to know. Now we are going that, of course, let's say I'm a coach for under 12, under 14. There are not so many tactics, but I should need to know in under 16, under 18 and senior basketball what is happening, because I'm preparing my player to give maybe for the next coach, or maybe I will be the coach, but it will be a different category. For example, younger coaches, I am recommending for you, write a yearly plan for the whole category in your club. Write a plan what you think it is normal if you have I don't know how many trainings, and maybe then you have only maybe you have a less number of trainings. Then to think what you are kicking out, because you need to understand what is the most important thing what every player should need to know, and what kind of extras are in basketball that okay that you can teach it later, or it is not a big problem if you not did with the player, because let's say some under 16 teams can have 6, 7 or more trainings in some clubs, but maybe some countries under 16 team has only 2 trainings or 1 training, so can't be the same work. So individual tactic is very important. So this individual tactic you are starting immediately when you are teaching some kind of individual technique. So this is very important. So can't think somebody that I'm the under 12 coach or under 10 coach and we are just individual technique. Of course, lot of individual technique you need to teach, but you need to say for them when you are using, and on that way you are preparing your players that maybe they are going to an older category and they will ask the coach, okay coach, but this when I'm using it. And of course you should need to make it, if we are speaking about youth category, if you can, to be always some competitive way that kids can enjoy, not just only basketball, not just only hard work, or if you are giving some harder drills, say for them who will be the winner, until how many points you are playing, give for them some rules. So this is always a good thing if you are coaching some youth category, but in senior category too, guys like if there are some kind of competitive way, some drill, and they will enjoy it. Let's see the third question. The third question is from Karhan. He's asking why we used for it that mostly Serbian players are big fighters, have winner mentality, passion for the game. There are a lot of things. I will try to answer for it shortly. I was saying for you that when I'm working abroad, me too, I like very much if I have players from my country, from Serbia, but I had a lot of times players from Bosnia, from Croatia, and some other Balkan countries, and I always get players with really good mentality that they wanted to fight for themselves, for the team, for the club, for the community, for their country if we played in some other country on some kind of tournament. So why is this? If we are speaking about Serbia and Yugoslavia, kids and young players, how they are growing, they have a lot of idols. So there are some big players in NBA, in the EuroLeague, there are some big results, and this is very important. I worked in some clubs in some countries, and in those countries, because basketball was not so popular, or basketball not had so many big players, the young players not had so many idols. They were watching NBA and EuroLeague, but they're not had their players. So it is always interesting to choose a player from your country and to follow it, and if there are a lot, kids will say, aha, he succeeded from my city or from my country. Now I will go. For example, I will say that I'm coming from a very small city, from Bačka Topola, from Serbia, and when I was a young kid, there was Mlađan Šilobat, who was a EuroLeague champion with Partizan, and I saw him on outdoor court when I was a kid, that center moves he was practicing on an outdoor court. And then I saw that if that player is doing every day, then I think that like me, like a young player, I should need to work more if I want to learn so many things. So this is very important. And for example, now if we are looking the social thing, in Serbia there were really hard times, and because of these hard times happened that the people followed much more sport. But before the hard times, basketball was on a very big level. So Kicanovic, Dali Pagic, and other players. If in Serbia you are saying that you are a basketball player, then everybody is saying okay. Or you are a basketball coach, everybody is saying okay. If you are saying this in another country, they will ask immediately, and what else you are doing? So this is it that is why I loved to be a coach in Serbia, because I had that kind of fans who were really understood basketball. And if I was talking with some coaches, I knew immediately about what we are talking. So we understood immediately each of others. And we grow up that we are looking some great players, and they are saying, yes, we worked 5-6 hours or more even daily. And if you are listening this, then you are saying, okay, I want to try. I want to work on myself individually. And we are educated that when we are starting to play basketball or to go for basketball practice, we want to be the best in our neighborhood. After, we want to be the best in our school. After, we want to be the best in our club. After, we want to be the member of the national team. And after, when we are in the national team, we want to do everything to win the gold medal. And this is like decades going in it, going in coaches, going in players. We had great clubs who played in the EuroLeague. Partizan how won the EuroLeague in 1992. Then Partizan again a final for. Now in the previous years, Red Star is good in EuroLeague. But if we are watching the Yugoslavian national team and Serbian national team, even today, if the Serbian national team is playing, I'm watching always. Just I'm not watching if I have a training or I have a match. But everything else I need to watch. Happened with me, for example, that then I was a coach, I think, in Denmark, and I'm going back, or Ireland, I not remember, and I'm going home for a break, and the national team played against Turkey and Argentina. It was some friendly matches in Belgrade, and I went home for 2-3 days. I'm arriving, watching on the television, I think against Argentina, or I don't know, Turkey was the first, or I don't know how it was, and the national team played with so big sacrifice defense on a friendly match, and they played defense like they can be injured. And then I said for myself, tomorrow I must watch live in Belgrade, and I will go back with the airplane one day later. So this is that you have passion. And if you can check on the YouTube what kind of celebration are when the Yugoslavian or Serbian national team is winning a gold medal, or even sometimes a silver medal too. What kind of celebration is in Belgrade at the assembly? So that is not normal, like everybody going with flags and everything. Well, in 2002, when we were the world champions in the United States of America in Indianapolis, people were standing on the highways, not just there. So this was something incredible. And one story about this celebration in 2002. The Serbian national player Stevan Jovic said that then at that time he was a young player, and he was stealing the car from his father to watch the celebration at the assembly. And after when finished, called his father, please come here and drive back the car, because there are a lot of police officers. So this is what kind of passion you have, that you want to see the heroes, and they are really for us. National players are heroes, and to play for the national team, that is something incredible. So, and that kind of thing that we must to come, and we need to fight for our country, and that is why that we have hard times, and because of these hard times we get some more powerful enthusiasm. And there were that kind of matches that we are winning a lot of matches in the last seconds with some kind of three-pointer shot from Djordjevic, from Teodosic, from I don't know from who. And we are believing in ourselves that we will win the match on that way. Or like a coach, we will win the match on that way. And if how I changed countries, I would love to say for you that that is today I am feeling a lot. that how I was working in Serbia, that was a Spartan style, while a Spartan style. I think Serbian coaches will agree with me when I'm saying that kind of things, because let's say in West Europe, it would not happen that somebody is not doing maximally and I'm saying, man, this is not a ballet. And that we are a lot of times we are saying for our players, and we want always to make from them fighters in the youth category. How I heard in some countries, a lot of coaches were speaking about that basketball is just a game. Yes, but if we are speaking about competitive basketball, you need to fight for yourself. So that is not just only for a game. And if you have a team who are thinking with the coach that this is just a game, and you are playing against a team that the coach and the players are thinking this is not just a game, this is more than a game, then you can't compete with this team. Maybe you have better quality players, but after a few years you are losing always from them, and you will not develop your players. So this is again important thing why usually Serbian players are big fighters. And for example, the sport rudeness. For example, in 2002, Bodiroga played some incredible performance in the quarterfinal against the United States of America. And I think that Bodiroga was feeling that really we will beating America in the quarterfinal, and the American team had 9 all-star players in 2002, and we are playing in Indianapolis. And Reggie Miller is sitting on the match, there is a towel on his knee, and Bodiroga is going to him during the match and cleaning his hand with his towel. Reggie Miller was just looking like, man, what you are doing? I think if an American player would do with a Serbian player, the Serbian player would say, no, no, man, what you are doing? Not to do with my towel. So this is a sport rudeness, because basketball is not just technique, not just tactic. It is emotion, it is feeling, it is maybe I am a weaker team, but I will beating you. Maybe I will show that I am believing more that I will beating you, and this is very important thing. And a lot of times, even me, I watched a lot of that kind of matches against when played Restar or Partizan in some kind of European Cup, or played the Yugoslavian and the Serbian team, and maybe I said this match was lost, but at the end we are winning on some kind of I don't know, or let's say about how Dusan Kecman scored, Partizan in the last 0.6 seconds against Cibona. So that was something amazing that I will never forget. Or Georgiev's three-pointer against Badalona, or against Croatia in 1997 in the Eurobasket. So there are a lot of things. That is why we are growing on this, and that we are believing on it. So this is very important thing. And for example, we had always some players who jumped in for some kind of main role. So for example, our sixth man in 1998 was Vlado Stjepanovic, when Željko Obradović was the national coach. Every time when Vlado Stjepanovic went in the court from the bench, he's scoring three-pointer. If there is no rhythm, he's making for it. Or for example, in 2002, Milan Gurovic, how he played against America, I don't know, 3 or 4 three-pointers in the last quarter, how he shoots. So always we used for it that somebody will jump in. Or let's say against Argentina in the final in 2002, how Dejan Bodiroga won the match. So that was incredible that he's saying, man, I will score, because I wanted my team is winning. And if we are speaking about sport, luck is very important. If you watched the final in 2002 against Argentina, when Hugo Sonokini finished, it was a foul or no? I would say it was a foul, but like a coach I'm saying, the foul is only what the referee whistling. And the player should need to think, and the coach needs to think too, that if the referee is whistling foul, then it's a foul. If no foul, then no foul. So, but you will have always luck if you are working a lot or much more than the opponent. I think I said everything about it. We have another question. Hi coach, how are you? I have 2 questions and I hope you can help me. Do you have any tips with starting out slow in games. We often start slow and then have to fight back. Do you have any tips to become a professional coach? I really want to grow and coach professional teams. Second question, there is no receipt for it, but today you have a lot of things. First of all, how you can become a coach. You can become like that you have a mentor, or you are going for the university and you get a lot of information, and on the net you can get a lot of things, or you are going for a course, so there are a lot of things. But how you are becoming a pro coach, I wanted to say for you, first you need to invest in yourself. Investing, what I mean, you need to invest time and you need to invest money too. So if you have a private business, when will go the private business? If you are just starting it and you are waiting that the magic will happening, or you have a private business, you are investing in it year by year, and after you will have a bigger business. So first of all, you need to have a knowledge, you need to build a network, you need to go in a lot of places, you need to try to make a connection with clubs, coaches, players. So this is very important. And of course, when you get your first full-time contract, then you need to prove that you have quality. I mean the quality, it is not just that you are winning something immediately, or that you are showing that you know the job, you have a knowledge, you have good communication, you can motivate your players, and you are playing nice basketball. In some countries, I played against some teams that somebody became the champion because they had the 3 or 4 best local players, and maybe they had almost no one set game. It happened, and my team, who was at the end 3rd or 4th or 5th, they were weaker, but they played much better basketball. So people are looking how you are working with your players, what you are doing. Of course, those people who understood basketball. So there is no formula, but you need to make a lot of sacrifice. You need to be a hard worker, and I will say for you openly that that is not normal how much I like basketball, but even I was thinking few times that I will stop and I will finish to be basketball coach. But at the end, always I said for myself, I like this so much. I want to fight for it, to stay here, because this is the most thing what I like in my life. And I think this is the right question for you, that if you like it so much, and if you would love to stay in basketball, maybe end of your life, then you will know the answer, that you need to invest a lot of time, you need to be patient. And my suggestion for coaches, if they are thinking to be a pro coach, try to start early. For example, I started at 19. When you are younger, then you are more flexible. You want to learn. When you are 37, 38, you finish basketball and you are saying, I want to be a basketball coach. Maybe, especially if you was a famous player or a good level player, maybe you not want to be first an assistant coach. Or maybe you will say you not want to be a youth coach. But if you are a young coach, you are flexible, you want to learn, and I think very interesting if you are starting from the youth category. I had some colleagues from Serbia who said for me, and maybe started almost the same age like me, who said like, I just want to be senior coach. Okay, but maybe not, you will not work in every season. Of course, somebody will succeed, but usually that is a little hard. So good to start from the beginning, jump age categories, and then to the senior team, and then you will have a clear picture about everything. The first question, what you asked me, I don't know what you mean about the slow. Maybe you should need to write in more details what you want to ask from me, because maybe this is like that you have an outbound from the sideline maybe, and maybe you are losing and then going for fast break, but you can write for me later class. I hope that I answered for you good. Let's go now for the fourth question. Fourth question, Akram is asking, how you are increasing faster reactions, reading the game, helping your players to do better decisions much faster. What suggestions you have for young coaches? Need to understand that in basketball you have around 1000 different movements. So this is not like swimming or cycling. So you need to increase motor abilities. Today basketball playing athletes, not like before 20 or 30 years ago. So because the basketball, if of it, it is a very complex sport. But which countries have the problem with the volume of the trainings, so have problem that they not have so big number of the trainings? In your team trainings you must to put physical preparations, basketball skills, individual technique and individual tactic. To answer for this question now with the next sentence, so you need to give always complex drills. What I mean complex drills? That in the complex drills there are 5-6 fundamental elements from basketball. How I am working usually like a head coach and sometimes like a technical director, and then I'm going to teams and I'm controlling the coaches, what they are doing in the club. We are trying to plan in the next few weeks or toward the whole year how you will work. And in a lot of clubs I saw before it that a lot of coaches are focusing in one drill, in one thing. So first of all, you will get a player that it will be like this, that coach, what I need to do. But during on the match for everything, you need to prepare your players to teach them for different situations and to finish. If I am putting 5-6 fundamental things, this player with the brain need to think, and you will get a player who will finish on a better way situations on the match. So this is very important if you want to practice something. Never to put only 1 or 2 fundamental on that drill. 5-6. And of course you can put some rules, you can put some competition, and imagine that you are starting with one team from under 12, let's say, and you are coaching them 5-6 years, or maybe not you are coaching, but every coach is doing the same system what is saying the technical director. And in one club you will go in the drills, like in every drill is only 1 or 2 basketball fundamental element, and in the other club in every basketball fundament and in every drill there are 5-6 basketball fundamentals. So this is it. You will get a much faster thinking player, and this is very important. Some coaches who not know how this doing, you can write me on Facebook or Instagram or LinkedIn. I can send you some video links about it, because you should need to look what you are doing. Or for example, you have less number of training and you are saying, who I want to practice 6 or 7 things. Put then the physical part of the warming up, put together with some kind of shooting or some kind of finishing, or I don't know, playing 2 players together in offense. So try to make it together. I want to say for you, for example, in one country, with the senior team I not had so many trainings, and in the physical preparation time at the beginning, almost every club in the country was doing only physical practices. And I'm saying for the president of the club that I will do almost everything the same, the aerobic part, the anaerobic part, but with the ball, because I not have so many time and I want to be prepared for the first match in the league, that they know to play what I would love to know, and that they are doing on some kind of level. And after a few days he's saying that only you are doing and one Spanish coach too, nobody else. But this is it, when you are going from some kind of different country, different thinking. Maybe in that country said for me that man, this guy is crazy, only just running and pulling weights and this is it, and medicine balls and just this to do 1 month or 2 months. But if you have less number of trainings, how you will prepare your team, what you are playing in team defense, what you are playing in team offense, so that a lot of things, or how you want to defend pick and roll, on what kind of style. So this is a very important thing, and very important thing that need to give your knowledge for your players. If you have good communication, you have experience, how you are giving your knowledge for your players. This is a great thing. I like when my players are speaking like how I am speaking, because then I know what they will do, and I am breathing together with the whole team. So you need to share your knowledge, and maybe you are making the next coach. Maybe you are coaching some player, and maybe that player after 10 or 15 years will say that, man, I became a successful coach because when I was a player I had a great coach and he opened my eyes that basketball is not just only one way. There are different vision, different philosophy, and different way how to score from some kind of situation. And when we are speaking about fast thinking and solving the situations, a very important thing that try to put the game situation. So for example, when you had one match, one kind of game situation, try to give for your players how they need to fix it and say for them exactly how we want to expect from them. And after you can do some game situations what are much harder than will be on a match. So this is very important. When I worked in some clubs, for this my colleague said why I would practice something what will not happening in the match, because this is a much harder situation what is always on our match. But if you are able to do it in a harder way, you will make it easier on the match. About what I'm talking, let's say some very easy thing. For example, shooting. Now to do shooting from the place, make from movement, make from screen, but say for your players that you need to make a jump and receive the ball, or you need to make a jump that you are standing backward, standing from your back is looking on the hoop, you are running backward, jump, turn and receive the ball and shoot, or after dribble, or after you get a screen and you are shooting. Of course, on the match you will not doing this, that you are running backward and turning and jumping. But if you are able this to do, if you have good balance, then in the match you will easier score from some situation. So this is and these players later will enjoy and they will understand that now we are doing some harder situations. But of course we are talking about that kind of things if you have much more trainings, not less trainings like in some countries. And very important key points for good coaching. So what is my suggestion for coaches? There is one very thing. This is the key point. What is your goal? This you need to know. If you not know what is your goal with that practice, please not to do. I work in a lot of clubs and I see that there is one practice and the coach just running it. So, not saying with which hand to give the ball, how to give the ball, how you will solving the attack, how you will solving the defense. Maybe just so on one seminar or on the YouTube. Oh, this is nice practice for my eyes. Oh, this will like my players, and we will do. So you need to know what is the goal of the practice, and you need to know what is the purpose of the practice, and what is your goal with that drill later, or how you will connect that drill maybe in your team defense philosophy, on your team offense philosophy. So this is very important if you are a young coach. This you need to clear out. And always the goal and the methodic steps will say what kind of drill you need to use. Never to think like I am using this drill and then I'm trying to say for myself what I want with this to do. And again, how I said for you, try to write a yearly plan what you want to do. Maybe you will be not able to finish. But if you have a yearly plan, you will know how you will push the practices. And this is very important. So, and after you can write in more details what you want in the next microcycles, in the next macrocycles. So these are very important things. And can't be an excuse that somebody is saying that, man, I'm not a full-timer coach, I not have time. You need to find time. Today basketball is can't happen that I'm driving the car, and what I will do. I'm arriving for the training, and in the car before 10 minutes I'm writing the training plan. This I saw in many clubs. So that is what I'm saying for you. Here you need to plan, you need to write. Maybe you will change how we're going, which practice which drill is the first, second. Maybe you will changing it. You need time to go backward. What you did in the last week, before 2 weeks. This is everything time. And when you are younger, when you not have so many experience, you need more time, because you need to understand. A lot of times, for example, if I'm taking one senior team, then I'm saying for myself, oh, this is similar like senior team I had before 5 years ago. Let's check my previous basketball drills, what I did a few years ago with the same team, because these are keeping in my home. So this is this is very important thing in basketball. Lot of information. Or for example, the club maybe not have a pro coach for conditioning. Then what is happening for conditioning and strength? I am that coach. Sometimes I was speaking with some of my coaches or my friends or colleagues, and they are saying for me, I'm a basketball coach. Okay, you are a basketball coach, but if you not have a coach for strength and conditioning, then you are. If you not have a therapist for the club who is a full-timer or a really good, then you are. We need to make prevention for our players. Basketball is not just this that we are running drills. So you need to educate for yourself. What doing the strength and conditioning coach, what doing the therapist. You can check what doing the sport psychologist, because you need to be psychologist always. But there are a lot of things, and there are a lot of nice information on the net. Lot of information are not the best, but you need to filter it. You need, if you are listening 5, 6, 7, 10 times the same thing, maybe this is good. So you have a lot of opportunities for this. For young coaches, you need to be hard worker. You need to be eager to get the knowledge, and to be patient. I saw a lot of coaches who were my generation. Maybe somebody stopped, or I don't know what happens. So need to be patient. In some season maybe you're in a better place, some season maybe you are in a worse place. But this is it, that if you like this very much, and if you want to stay in your life, you need to fight for it, and you need to do everything for it, because everything is easier to work when you like a lot. I like so much basketball that I'm always happy that I can work that what I like most from all jobs in the world, and always I'm going with smile, always with motivation. Of course, if I would work that kind of job that I not like, I would be not that kind of person for sure. So this is very important thing, and for this you need to make sacrifice. Let's see here of course the fundamentals are very important. The individual responsibility is very important about this question. Defense, how we are playing, for example, we need to teach them, if we are not teaching in defense to make pressure on the ball, then how we are playing on the ball side, on the off ball side, how we are playing on ball side, help side, how we are defending closeout, how we will get a player that will be able to think fast. So we need to give a lot of information exactly to say for them, how I said before you, when it's going some technique part, then we need to say the individual tactic, what we want to get with it. If we are speaking about shooting, we need a shooting technique to clear out how it's going. Shooting, you need to make it 10,000 times in your life good, to have a good automatization for the shot. So this you can do on the team training, this number. You need to go for individual training. And in the beginning, you need to have a coach who is standing beside you and saying, man, you are making this problem, your ankle, the legs, etc., etc. So this is a very important thing. When catching the ball already, you need to be in the stance and shooting out the ball. How you are shooting out the ball, from the place, from the dribble, after a screen, I said that you are running backward and jumping, then you're receiving the ball. So this is it. This is a lot of things. Then defensive transition, how it's going, pick and roll, low post, how we are playing defense, how we are playing defense against the best scorer. So there are a lot of things. And if you are putting in one drill more things, how we are said, 5-6 fundamentals, and you are putting tactic and plus competitive, and you need to think about it, you will have a player who will always be motivated and always thinking what I need to do. Let's say, for example, when Željko Obradović was talking about in one season when Panathinaikos won the EuroLeague, and in that time when played Diamantidis, Batista and that kind of players, he said in the seminar that during the whole season he did with them more than 50 sets. Of course, then you can think, okay, this is high level, but let's say it can't happen that you are playing some low level senior league and you have one set, because then it is impossible that one senior player able to have in the head during the whole season 50 sets, so doing 50 sets, maybe not know all of it, and you are just giving with one player only one set and that you are playing for the whole season, or maybe the coach is staying and then 3-4 years just playing one kind of set. So this is not like this, that you are making a smart player who is thinking fast. Let's go now for the last question, that asking Noah, how you are building a defensive system. About this I was speaking on one online basketball coaches clinic. So first of all, you need to clear out with your players that if you want to make a defensive system, all 5 players must to be involved. If one player not involved, you can't make it. You need to clear out what kind of individual things your players should need to do. Individual things in defense can be some universal things, but it can be something what is not usual. But you need to clear out and you need to make it. When is going this, then we can go for the group. How is going the connection between 2 players, 3 players, 5 players. And they need to think like a team that need to solve. And you need to put in their head, if they are playing against a better team, there is a gap between your team and their team. But you can win them, but only with team defense. This is a very important thing. If somebody happening that not want to do, maybe will not play, because just those 5 players will be on the court who will do exactly what you are expecting from the 5 players on that match. So this is very important to kick them out from their comfort zone. This is very important. And now I'm saying this about for senior team, but I'm saying for you team too. Teach your players that maybe they will learn something, but now is coming something different. And those young players to use for it, that we are going always out from our comfort zone and we want to go out, we want to learn something new. Not just this, that I know this is enough for me and this is it. Try to make players that they want to be eager for the knowledge, that for them is interesting, that they are doing something new. So this part is very important. Good teams are learning several ways how they are playing defense, and this is a good thing. If you are playing one defense on the whole match, or then the opponent is used for it, for adapt for it, change it. And very good teams, what they are doing, I was speaking about this on one online basketball coaches clinic. You can teach for your players that pick and roll, you will defending on 3 or 4 kind of ways. And during on the match, if they know to change to defend pick and roll on different ways, that is very hard for the opponent, because they will not adjust for it, they will not adapt for it. So this is again very important thing. Of course, I'm talking about that you have more trainings during the week, but this is possible to make with less trainings too. So this is a very important thing. And Željko Obradović is saying that with good offense you can win the match, but with good defense you can win the championship. So in defense you need to have sacrifice. Can't happen that one of your players is saying, "Coach, I played bad defense because I have headache or I don't know what." Need to say always for them, there is no excuse. Defense, you need to play on every match on a good level. Offense sometimes can happen. Now the shot is going for me, now the shot is not going for me. Now I have a better defender. Now I am not able to score a lot of points from one-on-one. But defense always must to be on a good level. You need to have fire in your eyes, you need to have sacrifice, you need to have enthusiasm that this you want to make. So this is very important. If you are teaching some kind of defensive system, first you need to expect that the defenders must to work with 100%, the offense to work 70 or 80%, or maybe you are saying, okay, please, now the defenders can't steal the ball, you can make a pass somewhere. And when it's going good, the defense, when the offensive players are playing just on 70 or 80%, then you can expect, now please do it on 100%. So this is again a very important thing, how you can change it. And here again, if you are weekly just pushing this, it can be boring. Put on some kind of competitive way. What is happening if the player is stealing the ball? What is happening if the offensive player is scoring? I don't know that after going fast break, I don't know how we'll finish. So make it on an interesting way. And again, you are putting more information, because we were speaking about fast reactions, like to put more things. This is like how you are opening your player eyes, the brain, that more information to coming inside, not just that we are just doing one constant drill day by day. So we were speaking about that you need to kick them out from the comfort zone, and if there is a gap between them because it's a better team, then you need to say for them that with team defense you can manage it. For this you need few months. Happened with me in one season that I started to work and the first league match was after 1 month. So I not had so many times to prepare my team, and happened with this senior team that in the first two match we had some very strong opponents. So I was thinking that maybe we will not have a big chance to win it. And what I said, okay, I'm focusing to build a defensive system. I'm still not going for the result. And immediately, when I was feeling that the defensive and the offensive system is working good, now just we are going for result. And with this team, we made the best result of the club history in this country. But of course, maybe if the committee not understood me, maybe I can lose the job after 1 month, after 2 months. About this, you need to speak with the committee. What is your plan? What you want to do? Because maybe you want to make a good thing, but if the committee not understood you, or maybe the committee not understood so good basketball, you can lose your job. So I was answering for these 5 questions. I'm still waiting your questions on my Facebook, Instagram account, LinkedIn, or on my website, and periodically I will make that kind of questions and answers. I'm happy that you were writing some comments. If it is more interactive, then it will be more interesting, I think, and we will be more able to share knowledge, vision, and everything. Let's see, Benoit, what you are writing for me. Hvala, coach. Great movie. I need progress my English, but essential more the game. No tactic, no technical, but basketball is emotion. Sve najbolje, Balkan par. Pozdrav iz France. I agree with you, Benoit. Your English is good. I understand everything, and you understand me. So this is interesting. Basketball connects us. English language connects us. And of course, if we are speaking about emotion, I would love to say that sometimes happened with me that I get a team that I was feeling that senior team is a little shy. Like that they are thinking that they are fighting, but not on that way how fighting Balkan teams who are with lot of emotion are playing defense and offense. And happened that little I changed them, and then I was really enjoyed the game, because this I like the most. When I'm starting with one senior team, I'm always counting how many fans they have, and if I see after a few months, doesn't matter what is the result, but if they are coming more fans, I know that I'm in a great way, and there will be good results. Why? why welcoming the fans? Of course that fans, they like 3-pointers and everything, but what like everybody most? When you see the big sacrifice in defense, when you see that the ball is on the court and the player is not just going down with the hand, he wants to jump on the court and to get it, and you see great fight. So I think this is a very important thing, to have emotion in basketball, because basketball without passion, without emotion, you can't play. And this is for that question when we were speaking about Serbian players. This is what I like, that there are emotions. We were speaking about defensive system, that with good defensive system you can beat some better teams. You need emotion and passion and believing and trust in your coach. Of course, the coach needs some good results, that the players are trusting in him, that it will be good. So this is very good thing what you said, that basketball need emotion, Benoit. Here what is writing Koca Bendeguz. For me was very nice that I see that you are watching, and you see that I was speaking about working with the centers. Maybe it can happen that in some season we will be working again together, and I will work with you individually like a center, or maybe we will meet in some kind of basketball camp. You are here, Adam too. I'm very fine, how you see. And how I said for Koca Bendeguz, maybe it can happen that some season I work again with you in some club. You never know. Or maybe we will meet in some kind of basketball camp in Hungary, Romania, or I don't know in which place. Thank you very much for your attention. I hope that I gave for you a lot of information. Feel free yourself to write me some questions, and again I will choose 5 questions, and in the next Facebook Live again I will make analyzing. And not to forget that next week at the same time, with another international coach, we will speak about basketball preparation in COVID time, what can be very useful for some coaches. You are welcome, class, and I hope that we will meet, and maybe we can discuss live, because I don't know, maybe you are from Denmark or some kind of I think some kind of Scandinavian country, and how I was 2 times coach in Denmark at 2 clubs. I really enjoyed my time there, and maybe we will speak about basketball if I will get another opportunity to work again in Denmark or in some other Scandinavian country. Hi Josef, I'm very happy that you are following a lot of times. I remember for a lot of times Court of Basketball Coaches episodes too. And I wanted to say for you that a lot of times I was in Slovakia. When I was working in Serbia, a lot of times we played tournaments in Rožnjava. And I wanted to say for you that I enjoyed really the people in Slovakia. So I'm waiting again that to be basketball in Slovakia, and maybe again to be in some kind of tournament. Oh, you are from Rotterdam, okay. Sorry class, okay, Netherlands. So maybe one of my next station will be Netherlands, and then we can speak about basketball. Okay, I think it was 1 hour and 15 minutes. I think this live was enough. Thank you very much your attention. Stay tuned, and we can again talk about next week when will be basketball preparation in the COVID time. Of course, when we were talking with my guest, you can write the questions again here in the comments, and we will try to answer for it. Take care, and all the best for everybody. Bye bye.